Hey, everybody, what's going on? Sal Capaccio here. Welcome into a Thursday night football pregame tailgate here on Sal's house. We are at Herbal IQ. Oh, man, this place is a phenomenal place. You look around here, a New York State licensed dispensary, 6300 Transit Road in Depew. And if you're watching right now and you want to come down, I'm going to give you a great reason. We're going to have free pizza here in a little while because Sports City Pizza Pub is going to be coming by. Got to thank Sports City, obviously a big sponsor here, just like Herbal IQ. Sports City Pizza Pub, they're going to be bringing the pizza down. We got TSE Buffalo, tsebuffalo.com, of course, for all your memorabilia needs. And fans of Buffalo, they got a great tailgate going on Saturday night in New York City that I'll be a part of. But tonight, special guest joining me right now, my guy Patrick Moran. We're going to flip the script here tonight, pal, because you usually have me, thankfully, on your show, and I appreciate that, I should say. I'm very thankful for that, to be on your show, Talking Buffalo podcast. And today I said, you know what, you join me? I'm going to flip the script and ask you some questions. So thanks for coming aboard.
Thank you for having me here. It feels different. By the way, you were my first guest ever on Talking Buffalo all the way back in 2018. This is my first time here. This is a very impressive.
It is.
Facility.
So they used to be down the street right there. If you go down, if you're on Transit Road right here and you're going south, it was about maybe another quarter mile down on the left-hand side. And they outgrew themselves because they're so big. Yeah. And all the vendors that come in here, it's amazing. So they said, all right, we're going to have a different space. And it's been great. And Brad and Abby and the entire crew that works here, they're phenomenal. When you come in here, they're going to take care of you. It's a New York State licensed dispensary, and we're here tonight at Herbal IQ. We're going to be here for until a little close to 7 o'clock. We're going to be talking Buffalo sports, like Pat always does. We're going to be talking Bills, Jets. I want to talk to Pat about his journey and getting back into podcasting back in the day, and kind of him and I kind of coincided. We're about the same age. I think you're a year or two older.
I think I got you by 2 years.
Are you 54 now? You look great for 54. Thanks, I know. I'm 52 now. Yeah. So we're about the same age. I think we kind of started doing this a little bit, together. And what I mean by that is, podcasting and broadcasting, and we've gone some different ways, but also the same way. We were both in Florida. And high school football is a big part of our lives in Florida. So I wanted to get into that. But I wanted to also tell everybody that right here tonight, not only is Sports City Pizza Pub coming by, but we're also going to have a giveaway. I don't even know how we're going to give this jersey away. I think we could do it in the chat box or something. You want to come in the chat box? You want to stay in there and hang out? Or you want to have somebody come in? Oh, you know what? I got an idea. We got to have somebody come down here to win this, right? Got to have somebody come down here to get this jersey. I got an idea for it. We'll ask Abby exactly how we want to do that. I should have did that. It's off the top of my head how we're going to give this jersey away. But in the meantime, buy one, get one, 50% off the entire store. All right, up here at Herbal's. Come on, buy one, get one, 50% off the entire store. Buffalo's Most Wanted Herbal IQ car show at the Walden Galleria on September 25th, 6 to 9 p.m. I mean, we saw how big into cars Deion Dawkins is, but Herbal IQ, they're doing car shows all the time. It's really cool out there.
Yeah, that is. That's wild. I didn't know about that either. Until you told me just now. I'm still blown away, Sal, by this place, man. And this is way bigger than I thought it would be too. Like when I saw from the outside, I didn't realize how big it was here on the inside.
Come on by and listen, just come on by to say hi to us. If you want to just browse the store, see if the product's for you, if it's not or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just come on in, say hi to us. You can talk some Buffalo sports with us as Tim did. He came over here. Hi, Tim, and had a fan and a listener stop by. We're going to be doing that tonight. All right. So, Talking Buffalo sports. What's the official name? Talking Buffalo sports.
Talking Buffalo.
Talking Buffalo. Yeah. Talking Buffalo, not sports. Just Talking Buffalo.
Yeah, just Talking Buffalo. Yeah.
Because it's not just sports. And I think I like that too, because for me, it's like you're like me. You like to talk with people who are just outside of the world of sports. What do you enjoy about doing it the most?
I having conversations with people. And I decided very early on, in fact, when I first started the podcast 7.5 years ago, I remember having a conversation with you, and I was like, there's so many people who cover the Bills well, and I do cover the Bills. Obviously, we talk Bills, but I wanted to go beyond that. If I was just going to be a straight Bills talk kind of podcast, honestly, I think there's better shows out there. But what I like to bring is having the conversations and giving fans an opportunity to know more about people like you beyond just what you do, like your journey, where you're from, what kind of kid were you? When did you first get involved? When did you want to do this? Your path to it. Because one thing I've learned from talking to you and so many other people here in the Buffalo sports media market alone is that the paths are so different. Some people, when they were little kids, they knew that this was what they wanted to do, and then they worked towards that their whole lives. And then there's others who they had no idea this was going to be in the future. Matt Perino, good friend of yours, a colleague of yours, dropped out of school. You know what I mean? He took a different path. Joe Biscaglia, at 10 years old, he said, "This is what I want to do." He knew it in his life at a time. So I just like having those conversations and learning about people and kind of what makes you guys tick and some of the things that the adversity. Everyone has adversity. They overcome, like I said, in different paths. So we talk sports on the show, but what I love doing the most is just giving people an opportunity to know more about all you beyond, like I said, beyond just the X's and O's of football, because there's definitely a great market for that, but it's not really my show as much.
Yeah, and there's some of us who knew what we wanted to do, but also took a different path and diverted, right? I mean,
Sure.
I knew what I wanted to do since I was very, very little, and I would work towards that, even like calling up Art Wander's show or pretending I was Rick Jenneret and watching games and recording myself. But, once my career started, I went away from it. I left the career for 10 years, and I was a teacher and a coach, and then I loved it so much, I said, I got to get back into it. And I think the lesson along the way, and you and I you're 54 and 52. We're both around the same age. I think what we've learned, and I think I could speak and say this, and you can elaborate on it, that, there's no blueprint. No one's going to, when you know what I tell kids when I go and talk with like high schools, when you walk across the stage, they're going to give you a diploma. You know what they don't give you? A blueprint to tell you exactly how to live the rest of your life, and anything can happen.
And that's one of my favorite things of learning about people. Like I said, is that the different ways that you go there. And I also think things happen for a reason too. Like maybe, like say in a case like your case, had you went to Syracuse and you graduated and you got right at WGR full time,
right?
Or you went to a TV station in your young 20s, what kind of person would you be? Would you appreciate the journey as much maybe as you do right now? You might not have appreciated. You might have, as you gotten older, maybe you take it for granted because it's a grind what you guys do, especially if you do it full time for a living. It can be a real grind. So maybe if it came to you quick and easy, so it's never really easy, but you know what I mean, so to speak, and you didn't have to go through the journey and go to Florida and everything and come back that you went through, I feel like you might not have quite the appreciation for where you're at now. And also with other forms of media, especially in today's world, so much alternative media, you've been on both sides. Right. So I think it's easier for you to understand the plight of other podcasters and other bloggers and stuff because you've been there before. You weren't a 22-year-old who got into Channel 2. You know what I mean? You're a sports anchor at 26 years old. Great for those people who've been able to do that as well. But like I said, I feel like in your case specifically that maybe you don't appreciate everything quite as much now if you would have achieved it so early in life. You know what I mean?
Also think there's something to be said in our line of work, and there's no right or wrong about this, but if you've been in other markets, if you've been in other places to see how their fan bases are, how their media is, and Buffalo's unique to me. It really is, right? I mean, we're such a traditional market. It's a very, very into the fabric of everything about the Buffalo Bills. But I live down in Florida. You live down there. It's not like that in Tampa. It's not like that. It's very transient, right? Like you can go do a Tampa talk show and sure, you're talking about the Lightning or the Bucks or the Rays, but a lot of people are actually from somewhere else, right? Here in Buffalo, we're not going on the radio and just talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns every day. Sure, there's a time and a place to do that a little bit, but that's not the way it works here.
What I learned most about living in Florida is, it was good and bad. The good was you could be from wherever. It didn't matter, and it was easy to fit in because everybody's from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like pretty much nobody that I knew anyway. I was there for 5.5 years. Nobody was really from Florida. You're from somewhere else, so it feels easy to fit in because everybody's kind of in the same boat. The downside is you never felt that sense of community, with people. Like here in Buffalo, if little Johnny's got a hockey fundraiser in half of South Buffalo was coming to that fundraiser.
Yes.
You're not going to get that kind of that kind of vibe in Florida. In terms of the sports too, I mean, they talk sports. It just doesn't seem to matter as much. Where you learn it. I mean, it growing up here in Buffalo, but I feel like when you leave and then you come back at some point, you really gain a new appreciation for how important, like say for an example, the Buffalo Bills are to this community. It's just different levels to it here. And I've learned that's why I'm glad I went to Florida, because I really got to come back and realize that. And again, I kind of took that for granted, maybe at least a little bit.
I want to talk about your journey down to Florida, why that happened, and your son's high school football journey, because you and I share a passion for the high school football scene after living down there and seeing how much of a passion it is. But speaking of other markets, speaking of places to go, we're going to welcome in right now, virtually here at Sal's house, Alan Waugh. Alan is going to be a big part of what's happening this Saturday. I'm going to be over at Pennsylvania 6, Penn 6 in Manhattan. It is a Buffalo Bills tailgate. We got fans of Buffalo. You got some auctions going on to benefit the Punt Foundation, to benefit Children's Hospital here in Buffalo. It's going to be a fantastic time. Alan, it's Sal, it's Patrick. Welcome into Sal's house. I really appreciate you, man.
Gentlemen, how are you this afternoon? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. All right, I'm gonna throw the banner up on the screen here, and don't worry, I'll take care of that, Colin, backstage. I got it here. But why don't you just kind of tell everybody what's going on Saturday in Midtown Manhattan?
Got it. Yeah. So Pennsylvania 6 is the home of the New York City Buffalo Bills backers, and we are doing a welcome reception with the fans of Buffalo from 3 to 6. So the fans of Buffalo, Will Bradley. They're going to have their welcome reception there on Saturday night. We've got food, we've got some prizes, we got some giveaways, we got some great college football on, and then you'll be making an appearance later on that evening for almost like a little bit of a meet and greet, which we're excited about that. And that's going to be benefiting the Children's Hospital Buffalo and the Patricia Allen Fund.
Yeah,
we've got some giveaways from them. So that's what we're kicking the weekend off as the Bills invade MetLife Stadium this weekend.
I love it. I love it. Do you guys now? What exactly are you affiliated with? Both Pennsylvania 6 and the Bills backers, and what's your role basically?
Yeah, so I'm the marketing director for Pennsylvania 6 and also City Tavern, another one of our restaurants in New York City. My connection to the Bills is back in 2020 when I was in Nashville. I was able to recruit the Music City Mafia to our sister restaurant, City Tap House, down there. And ironically, it was the year that the Bills went to the AFC Championship game out of nowhere. And I've been a diehard Bills fan ever since then. My best friend's wife is from Clarence, New York. And that was the connection when I sent out a cold email to them, just basically selling what we do. And I also tied in the fact that we were affiliated with, Public House before and now Pennsylvania 6. So.
How cool is it? Tell me about what it's like on a Bills game day over at Pennsylvania 6.
It's awesome. I mean, it's standing room only. Essentially, we have 2 levels. We have our loft. We have our main bar, which is separated with the dining room area. It's usually standing room only. We have 10 large TVs. We have a projection TV wall, and then we have a projection screen in the dining room. And it's standing room only. We have a DJ. And we've got a lot of great people all over from Western New York who not only are from Western New York and they come down for the weekend and they check it out, or people that may live in the tri-state area, have friends that are coming down from Buffalo and like, oh, we got to go check out the Bills bar. So that's been going on for years now. We work with Kristen and Alex at the New York City Buffalo Bills backers, and they're great as well. So we've got a great partnership. We want to continue to grow that as well.
Sounds really awesome. You got any questions for Alan?
What's the vibe like right now amongst Bills fans in New York? And especially, coming off a big win, week 1, Highmark Stadium, a thriller, 41-40. You feel a little bit of extra juice if you have any interactions with Bills fans getting ready for this weekend?
You know what? We were definitely busier than we anticipated with the first game being on prime time on Sunday night. We were packed. We were busy to the gills all night long. And what I said is this: listen, you're not going to win the Super Bowl in week 1, but when it comes down to it, when we're looking at tiebreakers, we're looking at seeding and stuff like that, that was a huge win, no matter how you look at it. So I'm almost kind of glad we got them earlier in the season as opposed to later when they're clicking on all cylinders. But hey, a win's a win at this point. We'll take anyone we can get. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, no doubt. We got Paul coming in from Texas. He says, congratulations. Congestion. I think he meant congratulations on your awards. Thanks, Paul. But Paul's in Texas. Just goes to show you how far-reaching Bills Mafia is. And by the way, I recognize that name. Paul used to live near me in Cheektowaga when I was a kid. Really? I know that name. I know that last name. There you go, Paul. Good to see you. Hope your family is well as well. Alan, so Saturday night, all right, tell everybody about kind of what's going on specifically Saturday night, where they need to go, what they need to do, because this thing is kind of happening all day. Now, when you and I started hooking up, I said, listen, I'd love to be there all day, but I fly in with the team. I'm on the team charter. Yeah. We got to land. I got to get over there. I'm not going to be there till 6 p.m., but the party starts way before then, pal.
Yeah, so the party starts at 3 o'clock, essentially, when the fans of Buffalo come to town. The New York City Bills backers have been promoting the event as well as far as a welcome party. Like I said, we'll have a DJ, we'll have games, we'll have giveaways and stuff for fans. We're raising money for the Children's Hospital, like I said, and the Patricia Allen Fund up in Western New York, which we're excited about that. You'll make your appearance on Saturday at 6 p.m., and then we'll kind of take it from there.
What kind of items you got for what kind of giveaways you got?
So we have, as of right now, we have a jersey. We have an Andre Reed mini helmet.
I'm bringing that one. I got the Andre Reed mini helmet. I'm bringing it to you guys. All right, I'll be there. I get the signed Andre Reed red mini helmet. By the way, it's a red Andre Reed mini helmet for everybody out there.
We like that. We also have tickets to the Jets Bills game on Sunday as well. So we've got and then also Patricia Allen Fund sent us a care package with a golf head, some stuff from Labatt. So we got a lot of stuff, cool things to kind of get the weekend started.
Do you need a ticket to get in? Do you just show up? How does all this work?
Just show up. And then we just ask you to make a donation more than anything else. We'll have drink and food specials all afternoon and all evening. And we just want people to kind of have a central location to come and just hang out and get ready for Sunday.
Alan, you're making me want to jump on a plane, buddy.
I know. No, just drive, but a 6-hour drive, you'll be okay, right?
It's not bad.
Tell everybody how they get to Pennsylvania 6. If you're in the tri-state area or if you're driving there from Buffalo for the game or whatever, where is Pennsylvania 6 located? Do you call it Pennsylvania 6 or Penn 6 or both are acceptable?
We call it Penn 6 for short, but we're located at 132 West 31st Street between 6th and 7th Avenues. So we're literally 100 yards away from Madison Square Garden and Penn Station. Wow. We're right by Herald Square. So we're kind of in the epicenter of downtown, or should I say Midtown Manhattan.
All right, I want to give you a couple things here. We got a commenter says, what are the details of the NYC Bills backers game day tailgate on Sunday? Thank you for the question. Go ahead, Alan. I know you're a big part of that.
Well, yeah. So once again, this is the third year that we're doing a tailgate with the New York City Buffalo Bills backers and Pennsylvania 6. We will be in Lot F of the parking lot at MetLife Stadium. It's starting around 8:30, I would say. The earliest they're letting us in is 8 o'clock. So we'll be online by around 6:30. But I would say get there around 8:30. It's going right up until kickoff. And once the game ends at around 4:30, we're continuing the party once again at the same spot. So that'll be an all-day affair. That'll be free of charge. We got a lot of donations from, Labatt, from Happy Dad, from other vendors as well. And then we also all we ask for that's a free event, but we ask people make a donation to the Punt Collaborative in Western New York as well. So
great. I love that.
I'm sold, man.
Yeah, we're excited. This is the third year we're doing it. Last year we had around 350 people show up for it. So this year we're hoping to hit around 400.
And for the Saturday night, I can't join the tailgate. I got radio duties inside the stadium. I wish I could be out there with you guys. It sounds like a blast. But for Saturday night, I'm going to jump on the mic. I'm going to get that crowd hype for you, man.
We're excited for that. We're excited to have you on board and to work with you guys. So
yeah, for
I
sure.
think this is going to be a special season with everything that's going on. There's just something in the air. I can't say what it is, but I'm an optimistic Bills fan, but there's something in the air, and this team is definitely special this year. So
I'm going to throw this up for everybody. This is fans of Buffalo. I want you to see this. Okay, this is their lineup. Obviously, you got New York. That's New York, New Jersey coming up this week. Pittsburgh, man, this is a first away game, right? All these others on the table: Houston, Cleveland, Carolina, Atlanta, Miami, Pittsburgh. Check this out. Go to fansofbuffalo.com. As you said, Alan, Will Bradley and his staff are amazing at what they do. And if you go to fansofbuffalo.com, they've been with me now for the last few years. I got to tell you, Pat, there's a lot of these companies that say, come here, come to do this, and tailgates. These guys are first class. They do everything right. They get you on a plane. They get you to the tailgates. They get you to the city. They get a ticket for the game. They get you home safely. It's really a great setup. And for you to partner with them, Alan, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, we've been working with Will for a while now. I linked up with him when I was in Nashville. He did an event with us at City Tap House in Nashville. And then I've also recommended him to some of my friends that have places in Baltimore. And then we were able to link up again in New York City. Same thing with Charlotte. So they're a first-class operation, and we love working with them.
All right, man. So, listen, we're going to see you Saturday night. Thanks for coming on. Again, I'm going to throw up the banner once again here. It is the Bills Mafia pre-tailgate. Obviously, I'm going to be there. That's why we're talking about this. And it's going to be on Saturday. Starts at 2 p.m. I'll be there about 6 p.m. But get there early, folks. Drink specials, live DJ. They're going to be giving away jerseys, a signed jersey, tickets, mini helmet. It's going to benefit the Punt Collaboration. It's going to benefit the Children's Hospital here in Buffalo. And it's at Pennsylvania 6. One more time, give the actual address out for everybody, Alan.
We're located at 132 West 31st Street between 6th and 7th Avenues.
I love it. Alan, thanks for doing this today,
Awesome,
man. I
guys.
can't wait to
Thank
see
you
you in
so
about.
much.
I'll see you in about 48 hours, pal.
Awesome. We appreciate it. Go
it.
Bills.
All right, you got it. Alan Wall right there, New York City
Take care,
Bills back
guys.
for
Thank you.
Pennsylvania Tech. You got it. Thank you very much. You've been to a lot of road games? You've been to a Bills road game?
I have not since Miami. Actually, when I lived in Florida, I went to Miami a couple times.
Okay. And it's obviously, I mean, Miami, there's going to be a lot of Bills fans there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they take over the stadium, right?
Yeah.
I've been asked a few times this week, like, what's it like in New York? You do get a lot of Bills fans. It's not like a lot of other places there. There are less only because it's not a destination city. It's a place.
Right.
New York City's great, but the Bills go there every year.
Yeah.
Usually, if Bills fans are going to choose a game to go to, you go to Nashville or Houston or LA or Miami even to get out of the cold. New York's not like that. And it's New York City. Everything's expensive. You know, it's tougher to come by tickets with a big fan base, but also, you know, if you want to buy tickets, it's going to be more. And this time of year, week 2, Pat, the Jets are feeling good about themselves with Justin Fields and you know what they have going on. You're not going to have many people dumping their tickets with the Jets.
No, not early in the season.
That's
anyway.
right.
And like you made a good point. I mean, the weather's still nice here in Buffalo. I mean, don't get me wrong, people drive there, but like you said, like Nashville, Miami, places where it's harder to get to. That's where people are going to go more the destination cities.
All right, so I smell it. It's here. The pizza is here from Sports City Pizza Pub. I smell it. I'm going to have to grab some a little bit later, but we got a lot to get to before we do that. If you want to win a signed jersey, Abby, how are we doing the signed jersey here? Got people signing up for something, right? We're going to do a little drawing, right? What's that? Everyone who comes over to get a piece of pizza comes in here. All you have to do is stop in here. You don't have to buy anything. No purchase necessary. Just come into the store. Say hi to Pat. Say hi to me. We got Mike Rizzo here. We're going to get him on in just a little while. Tell you all about the Sports City Golf Classic coming up. You can put your name on a piece of paper, put it in the drawing. You could win a signed jersey. What's the jersey? What do you got? The Keon Coleman jersey. Oh my gosh. All right. It's a great
commodity. This week is a good week to get that.
Great place to start. All right. There's been so much about the Bills wide receivers. We know Brandon Beane went on WGR, all that thing that happened right after the draft. Keon Coleman, a lot of talk. And then all of a sudden, this kid has a monster fourth quarter. Where are you right now with the Bills wide receiver group and what they present?
I like it. And I'll tell you, Josh Palmer is a receiver that I like a lot too. And I know he's been really low key this summer. You saw it in the fourth quarter. I think he helped open things up. Everyone on this team, the roles seem a little more defined to me this year, maybe than they were last year. Maybe it's because we're kind of expecting. Last year we didn't know what to expect. The whole everybody eats thing was kind of born out of nowhere. Whereas this year it feels like it's more like the roles were defining. You know what it is coming in, and a lot of times, Sal, you're there every day in camp. Players have good camps, and it doesn't always translate into the season. Sometimes training camp doesn't really mean that much. Sometimes the preseason doesn't really mean that much. But with Keon Coleman, had a really good summer. And, I mean, it's only one game, so you don't want to get too high on it. But he took that over with him into the regular season. And I thought he was spectacular. So, I don't know. It's a really good, promising start. Like I said, I like Josh Palmer a lot. Khalil Shakir, you know what he is. We haven't really seen much at all from Curtis Samuel yet. I still expect to see some things from him or Elijah Moore, one or the other. I really don't think you're going to see too much of them on the field or even in the lineup, I should say, at the same time. But I don't know. I'm pretty big on this receiving group, and I also include Dalton Kincaid with them as well. All
right, so we got a question here. This comes from Man of War. Thank you, Man of War. Sal, what's the update at Oliver's? Great question. So here's the deal. Today, the Bills had a walkthrough. And I'm guessing, Pat, they had a walkthrough because they had a tougher practice yesterday, full pads, get the guys' bodies back right, legs under them. Mm-hmm. So we didn't watch practice as a media. We can't watch the walkthrough. But what we are allowed to do is still go and talk to players afterwards. So we go in the locker room, and there's that Oliver. He's playing ping pong. And you say, okay, but then I look, he's got a boot on his left foot. I'm like, well, that's kind of odd, right? It wasn't like that yesterday, but he's playing ping pong too. Standing up, putting some pressure on it, whatever. He's not like he's running around. Like I said today on the radio, it's not like he's Jessica Pegula running around the U.S. Open, but he's playing right.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he gets on a scooter and he rides away. Like, man, scooter. So he's got scooter. He's got no pressure on it. He's got wearing a boot, and we don't know and then we find out he didn't practice. So something happened between yesterday's practice when he was full practiced in pads to today. We don't know. We'll get more of an update. Sean McDermott's going to join me on WGR Radio tomorrow at about 11:15 or so, 11:15, somewhere in there. Okay, so we don't know the deal on that. That's the update. I had a Twitter question earlier at Sal Sports. I'll let you rephrase the question so that I can properly answer it and we can walk through it.
Well, I'm paraphrasing, but somebody asked you on Twitter, why don't one of you guys, respectfully so, but like, why don't one of you guys just go up to Ed and say, hey, what the hell's going on? What's up with your ankle?
It's a great question. And here's why, basically. Okay. The way it works is, as a media, we walk in the locker room and we can go up to a player and we can talk to them. We don't try to invade their private space, and basically playing ping pong with their teammates is kind of their private space, right?
Sure.
That's their time with their teammates. There are certain parts that we can't go to. There's an equipment area we don't walk into. It's just the open locker room is the circumference of the locker room, essentially. And there's some walls and things like that. So Ed is playing ping pong. There's nothing wrong with walking up to him when he's done playing ping pong. Not going to do it while he's doing it. That's his time with his team. So we're not going to do that. As we were all looking, it kind of hit us like, wait, what's going on here? It was like one of those, wait, what's going on? Ed Oliver's got the boot. As soon as he was done, he got on the scooter and he rode away to a spot we couldn't go to. So it kind of all happened really quickly. It's a great question. I would love to have asked Ed Oliver what the deal is. It doesn't mean he would have answered. In fact, I know you were surprised I told you this before we started. Ed Oliver had this great game on Sunday. He didn't even stick around and talk to the media. He's like, he left.
Yeah.
He didn't want to talk.
I was shocked that you told me that. I was like, if there's ever a week that he'd want to be I'd be talking to anybody who would listen if I played like he did on Sunday. But I was very surprised that he didn't talk. Speaking of surprise, how surprised were you? Because I could tell you're at the facility, you guys are covering the team, sitting at home and being on Twitter, and then all of a sudden you start seeing these reports. Ed Oliver's in a boot. I'm like, well, what the hell's going on? He practiced yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wasn't even on the report, and coming out the game that he did, I mean, especially he was by far the best player on the defense.
No doubt. I will say this. I'm not like going to raise tons of alarm bells yet. Sure. Maybe he's hurt enough where he doesn't play, and that would be really tough for the Bills. I've seen this enough where I've been in this enough where I've seen guys in a boot for precaution, and nothing is the right. And especially after games when they're injured. So a guy gets injured on a Sunday, he goes in the locker room. You see him after the game. He's got a boot on. Somebody tweets it out. He's got a boot on. Oh my God. He just got hurt. It's really more like, hey, let's get it on there. We're going to get home on the plane, make sure everything's good. We'll do some x-rays and then he's good to go. I don't know the situation here. So I'm not here to tell you that is the case. I'm just here to tell you that this can go a lot of different ways. So let's not rush to judgment until we hear from Sean McDermott.
100%, not speculation. You'll talk tomorrow and maybe you get some information from Sean if he's willing to divulge that. But again, just being surprised, like they know the player is going to know you. He's playing ping pong. He's going to know that Sal Capaccio, Matt Perino, and the media is going to be in the area. So I'm sure he knows that if nothing else, it's going to raise questions.
No doubt. And then we have here, thank you, Paul. A couple questions. One from Paul. Do you think Trey White will play? And another, same question from John. I do, just from basic my own interpretation of how he is trending this week. Generally, when a guy comes back from injury, if he practices Wednesday and practices Thursday, even in a limited capacity, that's trending well for him to be able to play. So I do think so, but you never know. They might say, let's give it another week.
Do you think if he's healthy enough, he starts? He goes
back I do, and that's a good question. You know, I don't think we're to the point yet, Pat, where we start talking about if he should be the starter or not, because I haven't seen enough from Dorian Strong. I saw one game. He looked pretty good. I haven't seen teams really attack him. Well, you know, and Tre'Davious White's been the starter. I would expect Tre'Davious White to still be the starter when he's healthy. It's the same question I get about Tyler Bass. What do you do when he's healthy? Cross that bridge when you come to it. What do you do when Michael Hoyt and Larry Ogunjobi come back? Cross that bridge when you come to it, because injuries happen. Look at Ed Oliver today. An injury happened. You just never know, right? So we don't know with all of that. He's Pat Moran. I'm Sal Capaccio. He's the host of Talking Buffalo, the podcast, okay? We'll tell you about where to get all of that coming up in a little while. But in the meantime, we got our guy Mike Rizzo, who's here as well. You want to come over and promote the golf tournament? What's going on September 22nd? You got to come over here and get on camera, all right? You want to, unless you don't want to be seen by everybody. Yeah, get over. You got to come over here. There you go. There you go. There you go. This is Mike Rizzo. Him and his family are the owners of Sports City Pizza Pub. So say hi to everybody. There you go, Mike. You got it. You can talk right into that microphone.
Thank you. Fantastic. How we doing, guys?
All right, doing great.
Welcome to Sal's house. Welcome to Herbal IQ. We got a great thing going on tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. You got some pizza over here. You brought that. I smell it. I love the smell of Sports City Pizza. It's over here right now. Sports City Pizza Pub, 1407 Niagara Street, not too far from my house, West Side. You're a West Side guy. You grew up on the West Side, right?
Born and raised there. Man.
All right.
Special
all right.
place in my heart.
No doubt. And obviously all the games you can watch there. What do you love about what you do at Sports City and how people come in and watch the games there? Like, as a person who just kind of watches from the 30,000 feet view of your place and everybody coming in, what do you love about that?
So it's funny. I actually got this question leading into the 1 o'clock games on Sunday, leading into the 8 o'clock Bills game. Did the math on it. we've had, since we've opened in 2016 over on the west side, 160 Bills games. I've been there for 150 of them.
That's amazing.
When
Do you know the 10 you weren't there for?
Yes, actually.
That's amazing.
Really?
I can tell you most of them were out of town, including Josh's second start in Green Bay.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah. But you've seen a lot.
Overall, it is the next best place you can be if you're not at Highmark Stadium. It is the place to be. You get to know the bartenders. You get, delicious food for a third of the cost of what it is at the stadium, and you get to know your neighbor. You're cheering with the guy next to you. If we're playing the Pats like we are in a couple weeks, there's going to be a guy there in the Pats jersey, and we're going to be ribbing on him. But you know what? We're going to buy him a shot too, because it's that kind of atmosphere where it's just you feel at home there.
I love it. And you have a big golf event coming up September 22nd. All right, now listen. Here's the deal. All right. If you go to me on Twitter at Sal Sports, I now have a subscriber service. It costs $5 a month. You get exclusive content, a little more additional content. I'm not breaking news there. If any news breaks, I'll put that on my regular Twitter feed. You're not losing out on that. But it is exclusive, more kind of in-depth content for people who want that stuff, more creative content for us to have a little community. For my subscribers only. You got to be a subscriber for this, all right? I am giving away a foursome to his golf tournament September 22nd. You got to tell me that you can make it that day. It's September 22nd at Chestnut Hill. And if enough people, if I have more than one, I'm going to say, all right, we're doing a drawing. But I'm giving away that foursome that I paid for to have a foursome there to be a part of your event, to be a sponsor. And it's going to be a fantastic time. Tell everybody about the golf event going up.
Absolutely. So this is going to be the first annual Sports City Golf Classic, like Sal said, happening Monday, September 22nd over at Chestnut Hill in Darien Center, about 5 minutes down the road from Darien Lake. Proceeds are going to be benefiting the City of Buffalo Animal Shelter that we find near and dear to our heart. And from there, we got a lot of different sponsors, Sal being one of the biggest one, including Sal, I believe you are sponsoring the putting
contest. That's right. I'm sponsoring the putting contest. I think you got to putt and try to hit something, right? If you hit the bottle.
Yeah. So
hit the bottle and you win the liquor or something like that. I think that's what it is.
Hit the liquor, win the liquor.
I love it.
Pay a few bucks to do that, and you get to take it home with you or enjoy it on the course. I won't be out there policing you. Let's put it that way.
All right. So you see the address on your screen, app.eventcaddy.com/events/Sports City Golf Classic with some dashes in there. It says 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's registration. You're going to tee off. Now, this is the Monday following the Thursday night game against the Miami Dolphins. So, you have plenty of time to don't worry about Sunday and then getting up on Monday, Pat, to go out there, right? You got to be a part of this. Are you a golfer?
I used to be. I haven't played in a couple of years.
Yeah, I've never seen you talk about golf or
my lungs got bad. It hurts. It hurts sometimes to be able to swing the club. My son's been getting into it, which, by the way, I'm going to have to tell him as soon as I get home, literally. I'm going to have to tell him about this. He's really got it.
Wow. See, he needs to subscribe to me. Maybe he can have that free foursome. I am giving away a free foursome to the Sports City Golf Classic, but you have to be a subscriber to me on Twitter, not just a follower. Go to Sal Sports, hit the subscribe button on my profile page. It's $5 a month. You know what? It's not for you. You don't have to do the $5 a month anymore. You spend $5 to get a chance to play golf with you and a whole bunch of other people. We got a lot of other great sponsors, including Trainwreck, who's a big part of tonight as well.
Absolutely. Trainwreck will be out there on the course. They'll be commenting on just about everything that's happening throughout the day. We got a lot of local bars that are joining us. Actually, I was just discussing with Abby over here. Herbal IQ is going to be joining us that day as well. So it's going to be a great one. TSC Buffalo is going to be there. And obviously, Sal, if he can swing it that day, I'm going to try.
I got my show 10 to 12, my reaction show from the previous Thursday. We're going to do one Friday. We're going to do one Monday. And if I get a chance, I'm going to head out to Chestnut Hill and be a part of the second half. Maybe I'll just ride around in a golf cart and play with people every once in a while.
Fantastic.
I'll take a couple of shots and it's like, hey, here you go, right? I know.
I think that's the definition of a celebrity shot.
All right. Hey, listen, real quick, tell everybody again about Sports City Pizza Pub and where you guys are located and what you got going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sports City Pizza Pub located at 1407 Niagara Street, corner of Niagara and West Delavan. Our tagline is pretty simple: pizza, wings, sports, and beer. We're your go-to destination for the ultimate sports bar, ultimate pizza, ultimate wings. Come on down for a game day. We take reservations only the week of. So if you're trying to book for Kansas City, we keep it fair for everyone. Monday going into that week, that's when we open up reservations. And again, for the Sports City Golf Classic, be sure to tune into Sal's subscribe to Sal on Twitter or X, whatever we're calling it these days. And for anyone who doesn't win or, you don't feel lucky, whatever it is, registration ends tomorrow at 12 noon. So don't miss out on that. If you have any questions, head to our head to our website at sportscitypizzapub.com, click on the link via the events page, or just send us a DM and we'll answer whatever questions you got. We'd love to see you out there.
And if you do subscribe to me, just look for the tweet I put out earlier today just for subscribers. And it says basically, hey, if you're interested and you can make it with 4 people, reply here. And if there's more than 1 subscriber that says I can do it, I'll do a drawing for that. Thanks for coming by, buddy.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you coming. Thanks for the pizza.
Appreciate
We're going to be
you
here
both.
enjoying some of this pizza. That is from Sports City Pizza Pub. It's right over there. And come on down. So all you got to do is come on down here, 6300 Transit Road. We are at Herbal IQ. Get some pizza. Put your name on a piece of paper. Get entered to win a drawing for a signed Keon Coleman jersey tonight.
I got to say one thing about Sports City Pizza
Yeah.
Pub too, and you know me as a kind of a pizza guy, but especially a wing guy.
Yes.
Some of the most consistent
Oh, yeah.
food anywhere, literally in Western New York. And there's so many good places out there, Sal, where, you know, you and the wife could go out for dinner one night or for pizza and wings. And when you're like, oh my God, these are so good. And then you'll come back and you'll have a buddy who'll come in town from Florida or something to me. You're like, hey, we're going to go to X place, you know, because this was so good, you and your wife. And you go there and it doesn't taste nothing like it was
No,
the time before.
that's
When
right.
you go to Sports City Pizza Pub, I'm telling you, I've been there a lot. If you like their wings once, you're going to like them 10 times because they're made the same way every time. Same way with the pizza.
Yep.
It's one of the most consistent places. That's what I love most about that place.
So you talked a lot about, and Pat, when Pat interviews people, we talked earlier about how he likes to get into their journey and what kind of got them into this business. How about you? You're doing this now.
Sure.
Did you want to do this when you were younger? Did you want to do something? What did you want to do when you were growing up?
I wanted to do this when I was growing up. I wanted to be a sports writer, I think, when I was growing up more than anything. I love sports. I was, you know, back in our day, there was no computers. We had notebooks and we were writing down stats and looking up box scores and keeping them in notebooks and stuff like that. I was always I played sports. I was a decent athlete. I was nothing special, but, you know, I was always obsessed with sports. Went to Newville College for a while, and then honestly, just kind of life happened. You know what I mean? And things happen for a reason, whatever. And it wasn't meant to be for me professionally, at least anyway, at that time. Through the years, I've kind of dabbled in and out, freelancing stuff, doing stuff part-time. You know, and then, like I said, just got a regular job and live life. And in terms of the podcast, so I've lived in Buffalo pretty much my whole life. And in 2016, my wife got an opportunity to move down to Florida, and she got a job transfer. So we were excited about that. And plus, our son was a really good football player growing up in Little Loop. He was, I don't really need to brag on him, but he was always one of the best players.
Good
You know what
player,
I mean?
sure.
So Florida and Texas and Ohio, those are like hotbeds for high school football. So that was a big part of wanting to go down there. Anyway, about a year or so after moving down to Florida, I got bored and I started really missing Buffalo.
That can happen down there. Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
I started to get homesick. And right around that time, I started to see some podcasts were out there. It was obviously not the phenomenon that it is now. And I don't know. I just started doing some research. I said, I think this is my way to stay connected to Buffalo, was to do this. And I remember this like it was yesterday. It was like 4 people: yourself, Tim Graham, Jay Skursky, and Tyler Dunn, who was working at the time for the Buffalo News. And I reached out to all you guys. I said, I want to start this podcast. I want to have long form interviews and talk about your journeys in Buffalo sports too, as well. And all 4 of you guys, agreed to do it. So 4 of my first 5 episodes were with credible, established name people. And that kind of helped me, get off the ground running right away, establish some of that street cred from there. And it led to getting a lot of other guests locally and ultimately nationally, and some former players and stuff like that. So I don't know. I've just been at it since 2018. It's never been like my full-time thing. I've always said I still do have a regular job. Although this could be in a way kind of full-time too, because I do 5 shows a week. You know what I mean? So I'm on every day of the week, and it can be tough sometimes to come up with stuff like that. But
yeah, no doubt. I mean, I get it.
Well,
as a talk show host, right? I mean, like creative content, coming up with things that people want to hear about and talk about. There's no doubt about that. What about, I mean, how do you get sponsors and things like that? Is it just you? Is it a one-man show?
Yeah, literally.
You call people and like, hey, you want to be a part of my podcast, things like that?
Yeah, literally.
That's great. I mean,
that's literally what it is. I'm very blessed too, because like I said, I have a full-time job, but I work remote. And my boss is he's either pretty cool or he's pretty naive. It's one or the other, maybe a little bit of both. Now, a lot of podcasts
you don't have to give the shout out to the business if you want, but what's the industry?
It's an entertainment industry.
Okay.
It's a promotional industry.
Okay.
And I've been there since 2012. So I've been doing it for a long time. I get my work done, but it also affords me the opportunity to put a lot of time into the podcast. You know this. It's not just recording, it's doing prep a lot of times, thumbnails, show notes. There's a million little things, and it can be very time consuming. Getting the guests, that's not always that easy. You know what I mean? Especially when you're doing 5 of them a week.
And then sometimes you get a guest and then they can't do it. And then you have to adjust on the fly. And, I totally get it. I try to respect that a lot for sure. I mean, the same thing, like it's kind of cold calling, but my wife and I, we started actually have our own company now. It's called Capaccio Media.
Yeah.
Started at Capaccio Media. It's an LLC, and we kind of put that under that umbrella. And it's separate of the stuff I do from radio. But right, it's a grind. I mean, if you want to have people, if you want to do it right, it's a labor of love. But also, you kind of want to be rewarded in a way and be compensated for what you're doing and saying, hey, you have something here. Look, right now, 2,400 live viewers. Right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's amazing, right? Out of those 2,400 live viewers, you're like, hey, you're providing something. We got TSC Buffalo, Sports City Pizza Pub, Herbal IQ, fans of Buffalo. If people want to get their name out there, you say, hey, you're providing something for them, but also it's a space where we can all kind of come and talk together. So it kind of works hand in hand with each other.
Sure.
And I love that we can all kind of do that together.
Yeah, for sure. Which kind of leads me to a question I wanted to ask you this too, man. So I'm kind of turning the table on you a little bit. Last year, we were at Sports City Pizza Pub, and you had a sales house. You had a Bills season preview episode.
Yep.
You asked me I was a guest there. You had about 5 or 6 guests there. And at one point I'm sitting there and I'm looking around and I see a table. And at that table is John Scott, Matt Bovee, and Josh Reed, the 3 of them sitting together, having a beer, shooting the shit. And I'm thinking to myself, is this like this in other markets? So I want to ask you, I'm sure you at least have a limited knowledge of like what other markets are.
Good question.
This is now look, there's competition. I'm sure there's some rivalries a little bit here and there, but for the most part, it seems to me, and I've had an opportunity to talk to everyone, and everyone says the same story, so I believe it fully, that this is a very close-knit, tight community when it comes to sports media. Are you surprised to see people like that? Like I said, 3 different TV stations, 3 different sports directors hanging out with each other outside of the job. You know what I mean? Like they weren't on camera with you. They were chilling out, having a beer and some wings at Sports City Pizza Pub.
Yeah.
Is that common, like with from what you know of, like with other markets?
It's not. I'm going to get to the answer in a second. I just want to remind everybody, if you do want to be a part of the show, if you do want to have your banner up here, just like these places you see, salsports@yahoo.com. salsports@yahoo.com. That's the email. You can email me. I wanted to make sure I threw that in. But listen, it's a great question. And I will tell you that I think it's unique. I don't think that people hate each other necessarily in other markets. I do think there are friends and people hang out, but it's not like this where it seems like everybody, and we not only do that. Now, granted, you're not going to get those guys going on TV with each other, but they go on TV with me, or I go on radio. I go on TV with them. They go on radio with me. We help each other out. I mean, Matt Perino and I, like, we both have a podcast, which we're competing in this space, but we'll go on each other's podcasts. We do this. We're competing in a space. We go on this. I think that there's something unique about this market, but what's even more interesting to me, we're all friends. We've lived these lives together, and we're all at different stages of our life, by the way. I mean, think about it. Josh has 5 kids now, 4 kids, and one on the way. He's got 5 kids, right?
Yeah.
And then you got John Scott, just had his child, right, with Heather. Matt did too, but Josh in his 40s. I'm in my 50s. Matt, I think, is like 30, right? I mean, I don't even know Matt's age. He might just turn 30. He might be 20-something. I don't even know his age.
You're giving him too
We're
much
all
credit.
we're all like at different stages of our lives, and that's amazing. And I think about that as being cool too, because we can all kind of talk about different things that are happening in our lives and reflect on it. We're friends. We hang out. We hang out with each other at work more than we see each other, more than we see our families. That's a big part of it. But what's really interesting to me, we also kind of share kind of trade secrets, if you will, in that regard. Not like things that like competitive advantage stuff, but hey, how does it work where you work? How does it work where, and I learn from them. And so I'm like, wow, I can't imagine being like that. Oh, really? You guys are like, we don't do that. And it's really cool to kind of bounce those ideas, and you get ideas from them. And I've learned a lot from them. I mean, each one of them is very unique. You talk about John, you talk about Josh, you talk about Matt. But watching them work their TV craft and what they have to kind of think about every day is so different than me. And what I mean by that is when we get to practice, like I'm always watching, okay, I'm just watching the drills, who's doing what, who's lining up where. They get to practice and they have to think about who are we going to show video of on the news tonight?
Right, yeah.
And they have to have either themselves or their camera person. They literally, hey, make sure you get shots of this guy. Then on top of that, this is what's even more fascinating. This is why they're so smart. They'll remember to make sure to take video of maybe like some assistant coach because that guy might be a coordinator somewhere at the end of the year. And when we tell that story, we have to have the video of him on the sidelines.
Smart.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
like, I don't think like that. That's not my world that I live in. I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking about the here and now in the moment. And they do that. I do think it's unique. Some people think it shouldn't happen. There was an article written by Alan Pergam in the Buffalo News basically not long ago.
I disagreed with it.
And I disagree too. But Alan comes from a very traditional place where that just did not happen. I don't know. Could we imagine? I honestly don't know. Did Rick Azar, Ed Kilgore, and Van Miller all hang out? I don't know. I don't know.
When I was asking you that question, I literally specifically thought of that. I was like, I wonder back in the day when we were kids, when we were younger, if like Rick Azar and oh my God, I don't know. Because I didn't know that.
Which did you watch? Were you partial to any of those newscasts?
Channel 7, because I was partial to Channel 7, and he wasn't there for that long. But he's family to me. He's cousin. Rick Zurek is.
I like Rick. Hey, by the way, right down the road here, Rick Zurek. We're close to his golf shop.
So,
I'll give him a shout out.
He was like when I was a kid, because again, sports. He was in the business, and he was somebody that I looked up to a lot. But yeah, the relationships are the thing that fascinate me with a lot of you guys, and especially when you got something in common, like yourself. I used to read like Jay Skursky and Matt Perino. You guys got sons that are like roughly around the same age, and that kind of. It brings me back to a time because I have, my son's old. He's a young adult. He's 22 years old. In fact, he plays softball with Jay Skursky in a beer league now on Wednesday nights. But just going through everything that you guys are going through, the good, the bad, the ugly of everything of having the kids, and whether it's sports or music, whatever it may be,
we go to each other's weddings, we go to each other's kids' birthday parties, things like that, right? Yeah. They helped me build a shed in my backyard. Okay. That's how you know that they're good friends. Yeah. You know who was the point man on that? Who basically kind of took over? Did I ever tell you the story?
No.
Marcel Louis Jacques.
Really?
So Marcel, I told everybody, I'm like, here's what I did. We had it. My wife's like, we really need a shed in the backyard. We got to put like the lawnmower in and all that. So I told all the Buffalo media guys in the room one day, I'm like, hey, I got a project for everybody. Come on over. We're going to get pizza. I'll pay for everything. I do not put things together. I'm terrible at that. I need you guys to help me. So we get the shed, and it's just one of those, you can put it together. It's going to take a little while. So we're out in the backyard, and there's Marcel, and he's like directing traffic. Wow. So to this day, whenever I talk to Marcel, I'm like, dude, the shed is still standing. You did a great job, Marcel Louis.
I miss Marcel, and I liked him a lot. Don't get me wrong, Elena's awesome, too. She's doing a great job.
Yes, of course.
Marcel was
I love that. I love that. By the way, thank you so much to Fans of Buffalo, fansofbuffalo.com. Make sure you head over to check them out because Saturday night we're going to be at Pennsylvania 6 in Manhattan. The party starts at 2. I'll be there at 6 o'clock. Going to have the Buffalo Bills tailgate going on. They're having it on Sunday. I'm bringing an Andre Reed signed mini helmet. They got signed jerseys. They got ticket giveaways. They're benefiting the Punt Foundation, benefiting Children's Hospital. Pennsylvania 6. If you're in the tri-state area, if you're going to the game, make sure you're there Saturday night. Sports City Pizza Pub. They're here right now. You need to get here, folks, because Sports City is here. They're serving pizza. We got a signed Keon Coleman jersey that Herbal IQ is giving away. You have to make sure you put your name on a piece of paper and put it in. No purchase necessary. 6300 Transit Road in Depew. Get here right now. What time you want to do this drawing here, Abby? What time you want to do this drawing, you think? What time you want to do this? Abby's telling me, hold on. We can do about what? We'll do a little after 7, about 7:15. We can do it. Well, okay, you know what? We'll do it. I want to give people time to get down here. So let's say 7:15. 7:15. All right. So you got about 20 minutes to come down here if you want to, if you're within earshot. If you're not, I'm really sorry, but you missed out on your chance. But there'll be more chances. We're going to be with Sports City Pizza Pub coming up doing some shows as well. And of course, TSC Buffalo, tscbuffalo.com, Total Sports Enterprises. They are the official merchandise dealer of the Buffalo Bills, and they're doing an amazing job. All those different signings they have. You know what they have next week? Ryan Fitzpatrick coming to town.
Really?
Ryan's doing a signing. Go to tscbuffalo.com. Check out upcoming signings. Check out Ryan Fitzpatrick. You can have something signed by Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's what they do at tscbuffalo.com. And, of course, want to thank our friends at Trainwreck Sports who are always helping out with everything that seemingly we do here at Herbal IQ and everywhere else, Sports City Pizza Pub. So thank you very much for those guys as well. I remember when you, I don't know, you want to say tried out for Fox Sports writing? Was it what? I remember that you were in a contest.
There was a contest, and I got really far too.
You did. This is how by the way, this is how I learned of you. Yeah. I didn't know you before that. Yeah. So I was active on the message boards. You were active on the message boards, I think, right? Right. It was Bill's Zone. I was on Buffalo Range back in the day. Boy, those bring you back some memories.
It does.
And then I remember seeing some articles from you on the message boards, and it was, "Hey, come vote for me in this contest. I'm trying to be a writer about the Buffalo Bills or Buffalo sports." What was that all about? How was that like for you?
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was Fox Sports, and again, this was kind of sort of right before blogging really took off. They had a contest. In the winter, they were going to hire. It was Fox Sports, and they were going to hire you full time for a year. I think you got a year contract. I don't remember how far I got, but I do remember that I got past a lot of levels. And it was 2006, and it was a lot of fun. It led to me blogging for I think it might have been Scout.com afterwards.
Ooh,
which interestingly enough, a very young, he might have been in college or just out of college. My boss for Scout.com at that time, Tyler Dunn.
Wow.
Kind of a small world. Yeah. So I've been friends.
Tyler, he was there. He was at Bleacher Report, the Buffalo News, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Yeah, no doubt.
I loved blogging. I really did. It was fun. And I still
do we still call it blogging? Nobody has a blog anymore, right? I don't even know what they call it. Now you just post on X or have your own website or whatever. Now it's substacking.
I still have kind of, you know what, maybe to a fault, I still have blogger habits because like, when we do these shows, most people, as you should, you put up a couple sentences, what the show's about, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I write like 250 word or more show notes every single day, kind of describing every little thing and sneak in a couple thoughts in just because I still get that itch. But the funny thing is, and this is what led me to be to want to do the podcast. When I was in Florida, I was blogging a little bit. I didn't want to write. I got lazy. I'm like, there's a lot of work. Like, you still do it. I mean, after every Bills game, of course,
because there's also, you love it, but there's no payoff. You feel like sometimes when you're doing it like that, you feel like, I love this, but like, what's the actual payoff? You just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, right?
I was like, I want to talk. I don't want to be writing all the time anymore. But that was a very, you know what? That was the team stunk, but that was a very fun period. The mid 2000s, the blogging thing and the message boards, which is where we got to know each other pretty well. And I don't know. I always think it's ironic too, the paths that different times, but like you were in Florida, you come back, then I go to Florida. And one of the things that I've always liked about our relationship because of Florida is you're one of the very few people who would understand, like, or I would be for you when you talk about how good the level of high school football is.
It's incredible
down there. It really, truly is. And
who's the best player that you remember watching your son play against or with?
There was a couple kids from Venice. The names are escaping me. It was a tight end.
Javon Hawley was the receiver. He went to East Carolina, I believe, or Coastal Carolina.
That team, that team was so good every year.
Oh, and they won the state championship again last year, I think.
2 times they beat us in the playoffs, and one of them they definitely won the state championship at least one year. Shane went to Braden River, which was one of the best teams in the state too. But it was kind of like the Bills in the AFC. Like they're one of the best teams in the NFL, but they couldn't get past the Chiefs. Venice was the Chiefs. That's how it was when we went there. But the amazing thing about high school football in Sale is, and down there, and you know this, is like up here in Buffalo, the rivalries are awesome. Kenmore West, Kenmore East, so West Seneca West, West Seneca East, all these rivalry schools, the crowds are great, the vibes, the atmosphere is great, the talent is good. And there's some dogs up here in Western New York. They can go down and play in Florida. There's a solid handful. But you know this, down there, man, every school, half dozen, 10, sometimes even more kids that are just on they're just on another level. And it was almost
multiple
weird.
D1 signees at many schools.
Every single time we played, there would be 3 or 4 kids on the other team who were going to D1 schools. And ditto, with Braden River, they'd have the same kind of deal. And including my son, there would be like a bunch of D2 players on every single school, man. It was wild. So
it was fun. Friday nights were fun. I miss Friday nights. I miss coaching with my friends on Friday nights, but I miss going to those games and the talent as well. I also I was a track coach in Florida. I miss going to some of these track meets and watching. I watched Sammy Watkins run against a guy named Mike Bellamy, who was the fastest man in the state, who broke Emmitt Smith's touchdown record from Charlotte High School running as a running back. and he wound up going to Clemson, scored a touchdown, his first ever touch at Clemson.
Wow.
But he got kicked out of school. He did some things he shouldn't have done and, never materialized. And that's what you see too. It's a good lesson. I mean, you see a lot of talent down there that just doesn't materialize.
100%. There's a lot of talent down there that they get in trouble, or sometimes they will pick the wrong school. I've noticed this a lot in Florida. Like kids who could be incredible D2 players, they could be 3-year starters down there. They want to sign that big school. They want that moment. They want to sign their name on the line, and then they get buried on a depth chart for 4 years. Sammy Watkins, did he go to school? Was in somewhere in
Fort Myers. South Fort.
Yeah, I remember we played. I remember because there was this big thing about Sammy. We went and destroyed them. I remember.
Oh well, opposite for me. I coached against him. He was in 10th grade and scored 3 touchdowns in the first half.
Oh, I didn't play against him. We played against the school. Really?
Okay. Yeah. I coached. Yeah. Everybody knew who he was. Like this kid, Sammy Watkins. He scored 3 touchdowns in the first half. I think they called the dogs off after that. So yeah, it was not a good scene. But well, we weren't that good. But he was. But I want to get back real quick to the Fox Sports and the blogging and all of that. Like, what do you remember blogging about? Do you remember any stories you wrote? Do you remember anything specific you wrote about at the time?
Yes, I remember having the worst take ever in the history of the world.
Oh, here we go.
The 2008 draft. The
what
2008 draft.
Oh man, 2008. Wait. 2008 would have been Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush.
No,
Mario
hold on.
Williams,
You might have the right year. I'm talking about as it pertains to the Buffalo Bills.
I know. Is that draft?
I think so. Yes.
Not Dante Whitner. It is the Whitner draft with McCargo.
Yes.
Okay. What was your take?
They take Dante Whitner, 8th overall. They trade up into the first round, and they get John McCargo. 3rd round was Ashton Yabodi.
Yeah.
4th round was Co Simpson. Those were their first 4 picks.
I love it.
Well, I remember because I remember blogging for Fox and calling this a transformative draft for the Bills, and this, a defense that wasn't good. They're going to be really good. Look out, folks. The Buffalo Bills have a defense, and you're going to know about it around the league. And obviously that did not work out, which ironically, and you know this too, there was a great pick in that draft. He was somebody that nobody cared about, a 5th rounder, Kyle Williams. Who went on to have a great career. But, the heralded guys there, they were awful. Well, I don't want to say awful. I mean, it might sound a little bit mean, but the defense stayed awful. You know what I mean? They did not turn things around. I remember grading it an A+. I've never, ever have graded a draft ever since then. To this day, I still don't. Like,
good lesson.
A draft,
you never know.
I don't. I won't wait 2 or 3 years. I'll have dogs.
Agreed.
I really like this draft or whatever. But in terms of grading a draft, no, that was really bad. I remember writing. I was so excited about that draft class.
I got a great idea right now. We're close to 3,000 live viewers. Thank you very much for coming in here at Sal Sports, by the way, on YouTube, on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe at Sal Sports. I'm giving away a foursome to the Sports City Golf Classic just for a subscriber. You got to subscribe. Costs you $5 a month. After that, you don't like it, don't worry about it. No hard feelings. All right, but I got a great idea. If you're in right now, if you're watching, even if you aren't watching, grab somebody else who's watching. Post in the chat box your worst draft take. Post in the chat box your worst draft take. Pat said his was 2008 draft. He thought it was going to be transformative for the Buffalo Bills. I'll tell you mine. It goes way before that. I was convinced Heath Schuler was going to be a franchise quarterback in the National Football League.
Wow.
Heath Schuler busted out. He became a politician. He was not a franchise quarterback in the NFL.
No, he wasn't. That's a pretty bad take. I remember it might have been that same draft class. Vernon Davis. I don't think I've ever had a bigger draft crush in my life. And don't get me wrong, Vernon Davis was a pretty good pro.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, that was the same year. It was that draft because I think he went 5th to Frisco overall. That's the year that the Bills settled on Dante Whitner. But yeah, that was a really bad draft. I was like willing to move mountains for the Bills to go up and get them some Vernon Davis.
Post your bad draft takes if you can. I put it in there in the chat box if you'd like to come aboard. And hey, if you're just listening, we really appreciate that. We're going to talk for another 11 minutes here, 11 minutes. And when that 11 minutes is over, we're going to have somebody reach in and pull out a name. We have enough names in there. We can reach out and, all right, good. We got some people coming in. So if you are listening to us anywhere nearby, you're watching us, you're driving around, whatever it is, hopefully you're not driving and watching on your phone. We're at Herbal IQ, 6300 Transit Road. You still have 10 minutes now to get here to put your name in for the signed Keon Coleman jersey. So we're going to draw that. I remember being on the message boards. And at that time, here's what happened for me. I didn't even know what a message board was. Right. So we're talking blogging. This is before really that became. I was on a site. I used to write for a site. I was in Florida, and I also kind of wanted to I went to school for this, but I was teaching. You know, you want to keep your hand in it. So I saw that they were looking for writers on this site called billsinsider.com. That was the name of the site, billsinsider.com. So if you're affiliated with it, shout out to you. I remember that. And I remember writing a story about Travis Henry and like, hey, you know what? I know the Bills have, I don't know who was it. That was McGahee there. I don't remember exactly the sequence of running backs, but the story was basically, I think I remembered I said, call me Linus because I like my security blanket. Give me Travis Henry. Something like that. I was proud of this line that I come up with, right? And then I'm reading the story they published. At the bottom of the story, it said, to talk with other fans about this story, click here. And I'm like, what is this? So we're talking, what year is this? This is like 05, 06, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So I click the link and it takes me to a message board. Like, what is this message board thing? This is buffalorange.com. That's how I started on the message boards. I had no idea. And at the time I'm coaching. So I became Coach Sal or Coach Sal C because everybody called me coach. That's why, because I was coaching football. I was teaching. And what do you do with your coaches in class? What do you call them? Coach.
Coach.
It's a teacher. You don't call them Mr. or Mrs. You might, but you generally call them coach.
I remember that.
So I was Coach Sal C or Coach Sal. That's how to this day, some people still call me coach. And when they do, I know they're the OGs. They are the OGs. You know who does that? Warlock, LaShawn.
Oh, wow.
LaShawn still calls me coach to this day.
That's wild.
Because he remembered me and followed me on the message boards.
You were, even back then, one of the more likable guys on there. You didn't post that often. It's like when you posted something, it kind of mattered. And there was people like me who every time a thought popped in my head, I had to post
That's
something.
Twitter on me, though. Now I do that on Twitter now these days, though, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, those were really good days, man. I really enjoyed the message board. And it kind of felt like it was a good it's always a good indicator. Like if you had something to say, the reaction to that would be pretty much the reaction what it would be anywhere else that you kind of brought that same take or story or whatever thought that you might have had to it. Yeah, I really like those days a lot. I left. You know, I got to say something too. All right, you're kind of going off course. I'll make this quick too.
You go ahead.
Right now.
Word.
The message boards are great, but you also have to be careful, just like with Twitter and just like with social media in general, because a lot of people that are your fans or that you think are your friends, if you mess up, they will get on you.
Oh, yeah.
Like nobody's
100%.
business. And sometimes it's unwarranted and sometimes it is. And, you know, I've said this before and I'll call myself out quickly here. I put out a story many, many years ago, over a dozen years or so ago now, that ruined me. And it ruined me on social media. And I remember I had a blog. It was
I didn't want to bring it up, but if you're going to bring it up, you can. I remember.
I openly talk about this because I want to prevent someone else from doing the same thing down the road. Yeah. But I had a blog. It was called Buffalo Sports Daily. I started in 2009. And over the first handful of years, I built up a really strong following, very trusted source. I mean, I had interviews with Eric Moulds and Daryl Talley. I had credentials to cover the Sabres. I had a lot of stuff going on, man. Really cool stuff. Built up a great following, a great rapport with people. And then I broke the cardinal rule in journalism, which is be right, not first. And a story broke about I heard things about Sean Merriman and
getting in trouble.
And the way, instead of getting a second source and knowing for sure, I heard that somebody from the Buffalo News was fact digging about what was going on. I was like, I got to get this out there. And in that moment, I made a decision to hastily put something together that was filled. It wasn't completely inaccurate. I just want to put that out there too, but it was enough inaccuracies that made it plausibly, easily deniable. And it made me look bad. And in a matter, deservedly so. And in a matter of 24 hours, the 3 years that I had built that following went away real quick. And a lot of people turned on me. The message boards that I used to love going on and spending a lot of time promoting my work or just having conversations with people, those were not places that you wanted to be. I bring that up now because, and again, I learned, I've grown from it. It's been many, many years. I feel like I've definitely have earned that trust back, you know, got a great following again nowadays, but I see people out there who just, they want to be first and they're worried about breaking or getting an exclusive or breaking a scoop, as opposed to getting it right. So what I've learned is I would much rather react to something that Sal Capaccio or this guy or this woman puts out. I'd rather react to it and have my own little spin afterwards, as opposed to trying to be somebody who breaks that news, because you could be right 9 times. That one time you're wrong, that's all people are going to remember.
It's a great lesson.
Yeah.
I will give a lot of credit to my boss at WGR. His name is Alan Davis. Alan knows radio, I will say, better than anybody I've ever been around in my life. I'm so fortunate to work for him. He's taught me so much. He was Colin Coward's first program director in Portland.
Oh, wow.
Okay. My boss, Alan Davis, is from Canada. He hired Dan Schulman for one of his early jobs in radio, who does play-by-play. He knows radio. And he always says to me, I don't ever care if you're first.
Yeah.
Just be right.
Yeah.
Just be right. Like, you do never have to be first.
It's everything.
Just be right.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that so much, because not every outlet has that philosophy. Not every reporter has that philosophy. And I agree with you in this day and age. Here's a question I get a lot from people. Okay. How come the local beat reporter didn't break that story? How do you guys not know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you guys get that a lot.
Here's the basic answer to that. Okay. First of all, a lot of times when it comes to players, contracts, things like that, the national reporters have these really great relationships with agents. Agents tell them what's happening because they benefit them. Mm-hmm. And they say, hey, my guy's signing this really big contract. Break it, because you're going to give all. They're not going to tell Sal Capaccio because I'm in Buffalo. They're going to tell Adam Schefter. They're going to tell Ian Rappaport. They're going to put those numbers out there, right?
Yeah.
The second part of that is I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We kind of do know a lot of these things that are happening.
Yeah.
But because there's also relationships that you're trying to navigate through where you want to get other information down the road. If you put it out when they don't want it out, you're going to get burned. Now you're not going to get the information later, right?
Right.
So, hey, I might know something. I have had plenty of information over the years where I've had something and I've checked and said, hey, I know this. It's probably right, but not the time really that it should be out there because this is happening or that's happening. And hey, there's a reason why you might not want to, because if you do, it could wind up being a little bit wrong. And then even if it's a little bit wrong, it's exactly what you're talking about.
Listen, 150%. And to your point, I know for a fact that there's a lot of people, I'm not going to name any names, but like last week, for an example, there's people who knew that Trey White wasn't going to be playing before it was announced.
100%.
But it's not that person's place to say that. If the team wants to, make them doubtful or whatever, or they're not going to rule them out, it's not your place to say, well, per source. I mean, it could be, but what's the point? What's the point?
What's the point? That's right. So let's go back to, we saw this happen with a podcast, and they put out there about what happened with Max Hairston, and look what happened. And now what you said, like, you have to now you have no trust and good intentions, I'm sure, and believed everything. We weren't trying to lie to anybody, but unfortunately it wasn't the case. And they trusted the wrong people and said, hey, we want to put this out there. And that wound up happening to them.
Listen, when it comes to stories like that with another podcast, it's outspoken and it bothers me. And I take that personal because it's hard to be alternative media, to be a podcast if you're not mainstream and have people take you serious. And when something like that happens, I think it's a black eye on all the podcasts out there that aren't mainstream. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
100%.
That's the way I kind of envision it. We don't need to get
I'll tell you, I'll give you another point on this, which is a great point you just made. It also, I think, what I thought about? Boy, I hope Max Hairston doesn't think now I can't trust anybody in the media.
Right. There's ramifications.
Because now there's ramifications for me.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah,
or anybody that we want. And he's so untrusting because that was out there and it was wrong. And but you didn't do it, so you think about it that way. I mean, look, accountability, right? You have to have accountability, and not saying that they didn't. They did. They took accountability, but it really hurt their brand and their credibility. Okay. We are just about a minute away from doing the live drawing for the Keon Coleman signed jersey. Before we do that, though, it is a Thursday night football tailgate. I guess a pregame show here. We got, what do we call it? The pregame live show. There we go. We got it. I love the banner. Look at that.
That is pretty sweet.
I love that. Commanders at Packers tonight. We got to talk Thursday night football. We're getting kicked off here in 1 hour from now. What do you think?
This is a great opportunity for Washington, actually. I mean, Green Bay looks really good. I mean, they beat Detroit convincingly. Micah Parsons is there. You're already getting the Reggie White comparisons. I do think on paper, certainly Green Bay looks like the biggest threat to Philly, but I think Washington is very much for a real team, and this is a great opportunity for them. And I'll tell you what, I mean, my dark horse pick before the season for MVP, if it can't be Josh Allen, it's Josh Allen. But if it's not Josh Allen, it's Jaden Daniels. That was my MVP pick. And
all right,
these are the kind of games, if you're going to go out and you're going to win an MVP in year 2, you go out and you play good against some really good Green Bay defense.
Yeah, no doubt. And listen, Jordan Love looked really good last week. They have some young wide receivers, Matthew Golden, obviously, Jaden Reed. And Washington's going to be in the mix here for quite a while. Bills, Jets, got a thought on Sunday?
Well, can I find out if Ed Oliver's playing? Or
I know, right? Do you think that changes the way you think about the game?
I think this is a good opportunity. Yes.
Okay.
But I also do think this is a good opportunity for the rookie defensive tackles, who I think will be a little generously saying had a rough outing, but understandably so, man. It's a big stage against a great football team, a Pro Bowl center. If Ed Oliver can't go, I would assume anyway, TJ Sanders is going to have a much bigger role. I think he played 16 snaps against Baltimore. Probably you could double that if Ed Oliver can't play. And, the Jets are going to try to run the football.
No doubt. They're going to.
Why wouldn't they? They should. And the Bills defense, going to have to stop the run. It's going to be hard. Look, Ed Oliver, I can't express it. He was just incredible.
He was.
If it was not for Josh Allen, he was the best player, maybe on the field.
Man, Derrick Henry was pretty damn good. 6 solo tackles for a D tackle is incredible.
Yeah.
6 solo tackles for a D tackle is incredible. All right, before we draw this, we're going to bring Abby over here if she wants to do it. You want to do the drawing? Come on over. Before we draw it, I want to thank all of our sponsors and thank everybody here at Herbal IQ, 6300 Transit Road here in Dubuque. Come on down. A New York State licensed dispensary. Come on down, check out their showroom. It's beautiful in here, and check out all of their product. And of course, buy one, get one, 50% off the entire store. Come on down here, 6300 Transit Road, Herbal IQ. Fans of Buffalo.com is the place to go. So make sure you what does Colin say? Green Bay starting left guard Aaron Banks and right tackle Zach Tom are both out with injuries.
Wow.
Well, look at that. Thanks to our producer, Colin Ritchie, who's doing a great job backstage. Fans of Buffalo.com. Let me just throw up one more time everything they got going on here. There you go. Take a look at this, folks. Fans of Buffalo.com. You got to learn more about these trips. They're going to take you to the game, get you on a flight, chartered flight, hotel, tailgate, ticket to the game, everything. Fans of Buffalo.com. And they are going to be a big part of what's happening Saturday night, the pre-tailgate, Bills Mafia. That's going to happen in New York City, Penn 6. I'll be there starting at 6 o'clock, giving away a jersey, tickets, mini helmets, whatever else you could think of. It's going to be happening. I'll be on the mic kind of pumping you up as well, getting you ready for Sunday. And then they have the big tailgate coming up on Sunday as well. All right, want to also thank, of course, Sports City Pizza Pub. They're here. Mike Rizzo, thanks for coming on. They got pizza here right now. Come on down and, of course, visit them.
Save me a slice.
That's right, Sports City Pizza Pub. They're right there on the west side, 1407 Niagara Street. 1407 Niagara Street. Sports City Pizza Pub is the place to go to watch all the games. And, of course, TSE Buffalo, Total Sports Entertainment, TSEbuffalo.com. This is Abby. Hi, Abby. You can grab the mic here and say hi to everybody.
Hey, guys.
All right. Well, are you ready to rock and roll? Did we get a lot of people in this?
We did. We got some few entries here. So go Bills. Thanks for coming by today.
All right.
Let's see who won.
All right. I'm going to let you say the name. This is for the signed Keon Coleman jersey. All right.
Let's see what we got. We got Chip Huger. So Chip Huger, come on down to Herbal IQ. We're open until 10 p.m.
Here you go. Chip Huger. Come on down to Herbal IQ. And if you're not here today, you can come by tomorrow. They'll hold it for them, right?
Absolutely. Open at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay. So Chip Huger. And what did you think? Sports City Pizza Pub. You got people coming in saying hi. It's a good night here.
Absolutely. We appreciate you coming in, Sale. Great pizza, great times, great vibes. Stop into Herbal IQ.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys got the buy one, get one. You also got the car show coming up on the 25th. Want to remind everybody about.
Do not miss our last car show, September 25th, 6 to 9 p.m. at the Walden Galleria Mall. We're going to be on the parking garage all the way to the top, so don't miss it.
Chip Hugo, you just want to sign Keon Coleman jersey, courtesy of everybody here at Herbal IQ. Thank you so much to Herbal IQ for everything here. Pat, thank you, buddy.
Oh,
I really appreciate it. You know that. I really always appreciate you having me on and for you to stop by here today and spend over an hour with me talking sports. And, of course, tell everybody where they can find you talking Buffalo and sports.
Talking Buffalo, but I don't care. Let me pretend my last 30 seconds instead of promoting my show. Let me congratulate you on last night and winning your. It's very well deserved. I've known you for a long time. I know how hard you work. I know this has not been easy. It's not something that came for overnight. You've really grinded. You grind as much or more than anybody. And so if anyone deserves to win something like that, it's you, man.
I appreciate
really
that, buddy.
For you.
No, thank you very much. Congratulations to all the inductees into the Buffalo Broadcasters Hall of Fame last night.
Yeah.
Had a great time at the dinner. Congratulations to my co-host on It's Always Game Day in Buffalo, Matt Bove, and our producer, Mike Robier. We took home the best use of social media for It's Always Game Day in Buffalo, as well as all of the finalists that I happen to be mentioned with and won the award for the Sports Professional of the Year. And that includes my buddies, John Scott, Josh Reed, Matt Bove, and Dom Timmons. Thank you for watching tonight here from Herbal IQ. Colin Ritchie doing a great job producing as always. We'll see you next